Hello all of you beautiful people, we've got another video for you guys today, as well as some exciting news regarding the Hytale news channel. We've heard your comments, and we'll be focusing on uploading a lot more. We can't make any promises yet, but just expect new creative videos as well as everyone's favorite, news. With that being said, us branching out into different creative aspects means we can focus on different video topics. Do you guys have any suggestions? Let us know in the comments below. Without further ado, to start off today's video, we're going to be covering a majority of the hostile creatures we know of in Hytale. And oh boy, there's a lot of them. My name is Natsu, and let's hop right into the video. Hytale's world is filled with a variety of creatures as small as a baby quebec in the middle of the underground forest, or as big as a kraken in the depths of the ocean. You'll be sure to come across something on your adventures. And today we're here to tell you everything we know about Hytale's ferocious creatures. The first hostile mob we're showing today is going to be the skeleton. These bad boys take it up a notch from the familiar faces we know from Minecraft. Instead of wielding a bow, these guys come in a variety of different types as well as sporting a multitude of weapons. Starting off, there are several of the skeletons which vary between different zones. There are the normal skeletons that carry swords and are depicted as rather slow-moving in the trailer. They have no attire and can sometimes crawl out from underneath the ground. Our next variant of the skeleton is the skeleton archer. Skeleton archers spawn in the Emerald Grove and will use a bow and arrow to attack players. Archers have no armor and wear hoods and rags for clothing. Moving on, the next skeleton is the Sand Warrior. Like their name suggests, you encounter these guys in the Howling Sands. They carry light armor as well as wielding a sword. On the other hand, the Frozen Warriors spawn in the Berea Zone. They carry light armor and a sword. Moving from cold to hot, we have the Skeleton Soldier, which spawns in the Devastated Lands. These guys are led to believe they are much stronger than the normal skeletons as they wear iron armor and carry swords. Taking a more magical approach, we have the Skeleton Wizard, which will spawn in the Emerald Grove, carrying a magical staff of what looks to be the earth element we've seen in previous pictures. With that being said, here's a gameplay clip of a player fighting a group of skeletons. This is a rather new clip that we received from the latest blog post. Wow, that was a lot of information about skeletons. But don't worry, we won't cram too much down your throat just yet. Here's some more hostile mobs you'll encounter in the world. Next, we have the Cave Rex. The Cave Rex is a reptile mob that will only be found in the deeper caves of Zone 4. We are led to believe that this mob is hostile in its initial state. Also, we've not seen the Cave Rex other than in concept art shown a while ago. However, the Cave Rex mob could be coming into future blog posts shown in more detail. We'll just have to wait and see. Next, the Crawler. This malicious creature can only transport on 2 arms as he is known for his crawling. We assume this is how he got his name, the Crawler. The Crawler can currently be found anywhere in Zone 1, more frequently in the deep caves to our knowledge. We know this mob is considered hostile upon its initial state. Crawlers are also known to be the soldier to Varian himself. However, we believe they won't be the toughest mob you'll encounter of Varian's army, but they can still be quite the threat nonetheless. Just so you guys can really know when you will be encountering a crawler, here's a clip of some of the sounds you can hear when you come across a crawler. Aside from the Cave Rex, we have another dinosaur, the Dimetrodon. Much like the Cave Rex, we've only seen this creature in concept art as seen in this image. But we already know a bit of information about these guys. Dimetrodons are believed to spawn in the Forgotten Jungle in the deepest parts of the Devastated Lands. Moving on, our next creature is the Fen Stalker. The Fen Stalker is a hostile monster mob that can be found within the swamps of the Emerald Grove, also known as Zone 1. There have been a lot of images showing these guys off, so here they are for you now. As you can see, these guys tend to be hanging around more moist areas than most. We can assume these guys can be found in the ocean as well as the swamps. And here are 2 quick videos of the Fenstalker seen in game. Just as the cave wrecks found in Zone 4 in the deepest of caves, so is the Ember Wolf. However, you will only be able to locate it at the top of the fiery surface at the top of the devastated lands in Zone 4. It is unknown whether the Ember Wolf is a regular hostile mob or a boss mob. Regardless, we know that upon encountering it, you want to make sure you're prepared for battle. Our next hostile creature is the Golem. A Golem is a monster mob that may appear in game when Hytale is released. The Golems are defenders of Gaia's structures, including the Temple of Gaia. Golems are likely friendly creatures, but as seen in the screenshots, they are corrupted by the void element, causing them to become hostile and turn into corrupted golem. There have been many screenshots on these guys. In fact, one of them being a quest to defeat the golem with the description, "Help the Quebecs defeat the corrupted golem." The next hostile creature is a fast-paced giant white spider. This giant white spider is known to live underground, where there's tons of webbing surrounding the spider section of the cave. So, if you see large amounts of web, don't get too close unprepared, as we are led to believe that the giant white spider can trap his enemies in webs and possibly suffocate you as a player. Our next creature is one of the most iconic, as seen in many promotional materials. That is none other than the Ice Dragon, which is a monster type mob that has only been seen within the media section of the Hytale website. It appears the dragon may appear in Zone 3 and is associated with the ice element. At this point, it's unknown whether the Ice Dragon will be a regular mob or a boss mob, but we're led to believe it could possibly be a boss that will appear in dramatic moments in the story. Our next mob is a newer one, and that is none other than the Undead Chicken. This little guy appeared in the latest Hytale blog post and showed many differences from the classic chicken we know from previous media. The undead version's bones can be seen all through his body, partially his wings, and its feet. The only remaining section of feathers are on its wings, tail, neck, and head, but these seem to have degraded with time. Its eyes also have the signature undead blue glow we've seen from a multitude of other hostile mobs. As well, we can notice in the image, this creature has a metal fork sticking out of its back. As for how it got there, it's still unknown. Not much else is known about this mysterious mob. The next mob we are covering is also one of the newer mobs, but this one you will find specifically in the deep ocean waters. We know this mob is a variation of the regular piranha. We are informed that the appearance it gives off is from the use of the void element. At this point, there has been no information given to which zone it's from, but we do believe it's from the Orbis Alterverse. Following those previous exciting mobs, we now talk about the Yeti! The Yeti is a hostile monster mob that may be found in-game, most likely only in Zone 3. We are unsure if this mob will be given an actual name in-game, but as of now, the community is calling it the Yeti. We can also see in some images the Yeti has nothing around its neck. It is caught wearing what looks like a necklace made of bone fragments. Our last creature for today is the Chork. These guys are an iconic mob in the world of Hytale. These Chorks are capable enemies, perhaps one of the most intelligent races in Hytale. These guys can fulfill specific roles in their society. The roles are as follows. Chork sentries, which wield large, heavy spears with a stone tip, and it appears they wear little to no armor. Their name implies that sentries guard a Chork village's boundaries against potential enemies, including humans and their allies. This appears to be the sentry's predominant function. The next type is the Warrior. Chork warriors appear to be heavily armored, powerful in combat, and wield large battle axes with Chork runes inscribed on the head. For these reasons, and because they're specifically referred to as warriors, they will likely be the main combatants of the Chork race. It is likely these warriors make up the majority of the Chork forces, defending their villages and establishments against enemy forces, as well as performing attacks on their enemies. The next type is the Hunter. Chork hunters wield a sword with a Chork rune inscribed in the lower section of its blade. Their name implies that they may hunt animals for food to sustain the Chork race. However, they may be adept at hunting players as well as other races too. The next type is the Shaman. Chork shamans carry gold-tipped staves and wear a shoulder pad inscribed with a Chork rune. The name and appearance of the shaman suggests they have a connection with the magic of Hytale and may use this magic in battle, religious practices, and more. Following the shaman, we have the Chieftain. Chork chieftains are the largest and presumably the most dangerous of the Chorks. Chieftains wield large swords and battle axes inscribed with Chork runes. Chieftains rule their Chork villages and may command other Chorks to do certain actions. And finally, after the chieftains, we have the Marauder. This type of Chork wears very little garments, only sporting a loincloth and a skeleton around their neck. They also have a very unusual skin color which doesn't match any other Chork. These types of Chork seem to foray through the wilderness, building small huts, setting traps, and harvesting wild berries. There has been a ton of media footage of the Chorks, as you've seen in the background, and here are some unique clips of them now. That wraps up the majority of Hytale's creatures. We decided to cut short on some and perhaps save that for another video. As said in the intro, we value your feedback, and if you guys have any creative suggestions for future videos, we'd love to hear them down in the comments below. But before we end the video, we'd like to give a shout out to our Discord, the #1 place for all things Hytale. Here, we hold monthly events, community discussions, and much, much more. Come and join the most significant place for all things Hytale. The link is in the description. And that's all, folks. My name is Natsu from Hytale News, and we'll see you all for another Hytale News video. Bye-bye, and catch you later.